job of a prostitute is to get money. And things are definitely not always what they seem.
We did not used to think of prostitution nor trafficking domestically, period.
The top 4 locations for human trafficking are in Miami, Portland, Oregon, Las Vegas. Number 4 is Toledo, Ohio, but per capita, Toledo is the number 1.
Ohio is a hub because of our highway transportation system, our close proximity to Canada. This is all part of how the traffickers take a look at the destination, of their criminal enterprises.
I believe that a lot of people who are into trafficking and forced prostitution target teens because they're vulnerable.
It can happen to anybody.
Nobody should have to go through that.
This is modern day slavery.
It is a lifestyle of survival. Whether you're the prostitute or the pimp, it's all about survival.
I was in the street at one point for like 8 or 9 months.
It's all about trying to take as much control of your life as you can, dealing with a world of control, manipulation, lies, can't trust anybody.
I'd rather die in the street than be going through that.
It totally puts you in bondage.
I started Rehab Side Away simply just to get girls off the street. I just didn't want another girl to feel that desperateness that I felt when I was in the streets like that. My relationship with Rosita really evolved once I began to see that she was not who everyone said she was.
I grew up on Oak and Miller by Franklin Park. My mom passed away when I was 5 from breast cancer. My dad passed away when I was 10 from lung cancer and anorexia. I went to go live with my oldest brother. Went to go live with him right before my dad had passed away. Then when my dad passed away, he started sexually abusing me, and my sister-in-law was like physically abusing me and verbally.
A lot of young women and young men who are susceptible to this crime have histories of sexual abuse.
It makes sense that if you are miseducated about what sex is about and how to use it, that you may inappropriately use it later on in life as well.
And I just bounced around foster care and stuff and lockdown facilities and DYS. This guy seen me and he was like, "Oh, what's the matter? Come here, come get in my car." And I'm like, "For what?" He like, "I just want to know what's wrong with you." So I get in the car and he's like, "Why are you crying?" And I'm like, "Because I can't find my brother." And then he was like, "Well, I can help you make some money." And I said, "Well, what do I got to do?" He told me, "Well, you can just start, when people want to talk to you and they want to do stuff with you, you can just ask them for money. You're pretty, you'll make a lot of money."
Of course, at 15 years old, everybody wants to go to New York City. Then we were given some clothes and basically told that if we didn't put those clothes on, that we would not make it back home to see our parents. At that point, we realized that they had set up dates there in New York, and that's how it all began.
The elements of a human trafficking network, there are several roles to be played. The major roles are the trafficker, the person who recruits, harbors, transports, or abducts or kidnaps.
One day when I was walking to the school, the car, I seen the Lincoln pull up. The guy told me to get in the car. When I refused, they snatched me and threw me in the back of the car. And that's when we went on a tour of the country.
The other role is a pimp or a manager. And that is the type of person who will organize the dates.
One time he tried to say that he had somebody that would pay me $1,000 to do anal sex. So he gonna say, I have to get you ready for it, and he tried to.
The other role is the John, or the consumer, and that is the demand side of this issue.
We interviewed 112 men who had been arrested for solicitation of prostitutes, and almost all of them were married white males with college degrees and upstanding jobs. We cannot put a picture in a textbook or on a newsletter or on a website about what a John looks like. John could be the man next door, the man sitting beside you in the classroom, the man in front of the church.
Their goal is to get money. And so they're going to put you in the best of everything because they have to have a marketable product. Where we put on punishment like a kid, absolutely. I can't remember what it was I wanted to do, but I remember him making me stand in the corner for 2 hours.
Psychologically, they're abused, emotionally, they're abused, physically, they're abused. And when this is what you know as a human being in general, this is what you know, you may start to internalize and believe the things that people have identified you as.
They tell you that nobody's looking for you, that nobody cares. After a while, you believe it.
It's not fun, and I didn't ask for it to happen. I didn't just walk up to somebody like one day out the blue like, hey.
And after you've been abused, your mind is just, it's just trapped.
I just didn't know what I was gonna do, like if I was gonna have somebody helping me. Like, I didn't have a plan.
In trafficking, something has to be broken. And either two things are gonna be broken: your self-will or the control that they have on you is gonna be broken.
So it's like, look, I'm gonna have to turn myself in. I'm weak, I feel like I'm about to fall out. I don't wanna do this no more. And I'm walking, it's like probably like 6 or something in the morning, and I wasn't making no money. It was completely dead outside. Then one car come and he like, oh yeah, come on, da 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 da. And then come to find out he was a cop.
The girls that I know personally, they get out, they get arrested, and normally end up going to jail for 30, 60, 90 days. A pimp doesn't stick with you through that.
If I do go to this program, I gotta get together. I shouldn't have to give up my body to protect myself or take care of myself.
So what Marlene does is, one, she provides somewhere for the young ladies to stay, which is absolutely #1 critical issue. She also provides them with individual and group counseling through volunteers who are clinicians, social workers and counselors who come in. Marlene does go out in the streets. This is very alternative.
We built relationship with them. We let them know whenever you're ready to come out of this lifestyle, you do have a support system.
If I don't have nobody else, I got her.
Rosita and I relate to each other on many different levels.
And I'm honest with her as much as possible. And she is with me too. And I tell her everything, and she helped me work out stuff.
I think it's really important that we build relationships with girls even before they come to Rahab's Hideaway. Because once you build that relationship and they trust you, then you can kind of get them to do, you know, what's really best in their best interest to do.
I already mastered being bad. So if I can do that, then I want to challenge myself to do good. If you see anybody going through it or think something, call somebody and let somebody know, because it's better to call and be wrong than to not call and let somebody go through that.
There was a man walking down a beach and he was picking up starfish and throwing them back in the water, and someone comes along and says, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm saving the fish." And the guy says, "It's too many. You'll never be able to make a difference." And he picked another fish up and threw it in. He said, "Well, to that one I did." It's just one life. I wouldn't care if I had one girl in this house. That's one girl that's off the street.